Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, hello. This is Andrew David. Welcome to the High Performance Call. Now, on these calls, we go over a lot of different things. Today, I want to talk to you guys more about content marketing for your social media accounts, how to increase engagement, how to increase followers, how to generate a little bit more interest. If we remember, when you get into marketing, your main role in marketing is increasing awareness around who you are, connecting with your audience, helping them come to an emotional and a logical decision that what you've got works for them, right? That they want it. And then a call to action that makes them take action and change some type of behavior. That's overall what we're trying to do. That's it, right? I mean, obviously there's a lot of different moving parts to that, but your role as a marketer is to get someone to take action and to say, I've got some value for you. The great thing is that the products that you have value to them, can be useful, right? It's all about getting in touch with the audience and helping them take action based on that. Yeah, Aga, it's not just the likes. It's about getting people that'll take some action on it, right? And there's a lot of easy ways to look at, I can go out right now and buy a bunch of likes for a post. Any of you guys can do it. If you want fake engagement, if you want fake numbers, you can go Google, how do I buy likes for my post? And people sell them. It doesn't mean conversions though. Likes don't equate to a way to pay bills unless it's a targeted audience that engages with your posts, right? So I'm in the, it's better to pay for ads to get in front of people. If you're going to spend money, spend it on ads. So I'm in the middle of kind of rebuilding engagement on an Instagram account, right? And mine's easy to find. It's at the Phoenix Mentor, right? So I'm rebuilding engagement there though. I had spent a lot of time building it up. And then for about a year and a half, my focus was totally on helping out a couple of other brands that I had been contracted to build up. So 100% of my focus was there. And I didn't post during over a year and a half. I may have posted a handful of times, meaning that audience, even though it shows a large audience right now, isn't super engaged. Right? So, okay, not going to be a whole lot of good for me at this point. So I need to re-engage what I've got, all while creating new audience. Right? Does that make sense for you guys? As you're going out, your role is to increase that engagement. Don't get caught up in, I only have 50 and then 100. You'll slowly build that, but it's all about the quality of the content that you're putting out. So what I want to talk about today is the types of content. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about video. And I'm going to talk about some keys to video on Instagram. Carolyn, you'll get these slides. Quit looking at the phone. Keep driving. If you guys are driving, then do that. So I'm going to show, what are these? I talked about different types of content that you can post up there. What is this called, guys? Does anybody remember what these kinds of images are called when we're looking at those? Does anybody remember that? This is an infographic. Right? Infographics are growing in popularity quite a bit. Okay. So this real quick, a couple of questions from a survey done by Wise Owl, and you can look this up. This is State of Video Marketing Survey 2021. Does your business use video as a marketing tool? In 2016, it was 61%. In 2021, it is 86%. Meaning if you're not doing it, you're going to get lost because everybody's doing it. That's what people are accustomed to seeing right now. Right? So pay attention. Video is important. 86%. So it didn't go up a lot over the last year. It actually went down a little bit from 2019. 2020, the reason it's there, why it had dropped off some, is because of the pandemic. Right? You still had a lot of people doing video, but some of the bigger brands stopped because they weren't in business or they weren't open or they weren't spending money on advertising or whatever, right? So they changed a little bit how they were doing things. Next, is video an important part of your marketing strategy? So even though and this is an interesting thing, right? 2020, even though people said that they were, they had lessened the amount that were using it, there's still an increase in people that said it's an important part of the strategy. They just weren't implementing it. And 2021, that continues to grow. Okay. Not sure what happened between 2016, 2017. Maybe it was just the sample that they had, but we're at 93% now. All right. So just wanted to show those. Now, a couple of ideas for content or increasing initially Instagram. Follower exchange. Maybe I should make this a little bit bigger. Will that help? I know I'm going to get this to you guys. You'll be able to see it when I do that, but here, let me do, hopefully it's not too big. There we go. Okay. Following other profiles and hopefully they follow you back. That works a lot of times as long as you follow, maybe you engage some. That's one way to do it. These are organic ways that you can get in there. If you spend 10, 15 minutes a day, this is something you can do. Okay. Now, the way that I talk about follower exchange, one way to do this, do I take parts or all of the videos that you do in a private group and share it more publicly, Facebook page, profile page, YouTube, training videos for a private group? Yes, I do. And I'm going to talk about that video content, Scott. I look for ways to repurpose all of the time. I'll show you guys some of that here in a minute. So follower exchange, what I would do, I would identify some influencers or magazines or top brands in my niche, whatever your niche is. Okay. Real quick, I want everyone to take 30 seconds, top of your head. I want you to think of either top brands or influencers, people or brands in your niche. Right now, I want you to write down a couple of names. Like everybody knows somebody famous. So if it's music, then it's, whatever. It could be a company, it could be a brand name, it could be electronics. If it's boomers, then we're looking at either, Coach's Health or other people that are a certain age, whatever your niche is. Construction, maybe it's, large contractors. It could be, home builders. It could be a tool company. You could be looking at Makita or whatever. I don't know. Right? Everybody take a minute, do that. Anybody got a couple of names that they can share? When you're looking at your niche, I want you to think of 3 to 5 influencers or large brands within that niche. Somebody got some to share?
Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V.
Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah. Who else?
Okay. For mine, DJ Tiesto and DJ Avicii.
Okay. Yeah. Steve Aoki. Right?
I DJ'd with him in Hawaii. It's funny you say that.
There you go. Right? Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Eric Rohr. Yep. Good. Samsung. Anybody else? So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to those pages. I'm going to comment on some of their posts. Nick Unsworth. Yep. Absolutely. I'm going to go to their posts and I'm going to comment on their posts. I'm going to reply to some comments from some of the people that have commented there. Maybe, make sure that you're following these people as well, but then maybe I go and I follow a couple of the people that look like they could be good quality followers for me, right? Do a handful of these a day. Few comments, couple of likes, follow some followers. Real simple. Some of them will end up following you back. Now, over time, you're 30 days in, whatever, you go back through and you can clean up your followers so that you're not following a ton of people. I got my guy's going to have to clean up my followers. Number of followers that I have right now is high because he's actively doing that to a lot of people every single day. So he's got to go in and clean that up a bit. But does that little tip, does that make sense to everybody? Any questions on that? Find an influencer or top brand, something along those lines in your niche. Go in and follow them, comment on some of their posts, and do that consistently. Just every single day. If I've got Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Eric Rohr, maybe 1 or 2 others, every morning I'm going to go in, I'm going to look for their new posts. I'm going to comment on it. Maybe I turn on notifications, although notifications are a tricky thing. It can disrupt you through your day. So you've got to decide if that's a good thing, but I'm going to go in, I'm going to comment, I'm going to like a couple of posts, and then I'm moving on, right? Pretty straightforward. Over time, that'll help you build organically. Okay. Next, interact with other users. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Now, you also want to do that with your followers. Okay. Find people that are following you. Go to their page, like them, like what they're doing. Okay. If they've liked your post, then do that. Okay. Somebody's got their mic on. V, can you keep an eye on whoever that is? Appreciate that. Okay. Good. Now use tags that resonate with your brand. For example, if you're doing a video marketing, like if I'm talking about marketing, social media marketing, maybe that's what I do. Social media marketing tips, right? Tips for boomers. personal development tips, health, wellness, whatever it is, right? Yeah, Tom, those are great. Dean Graziosi, Tai Lopez, Tony Robbins, obviously. Now, Tai Lopez is one of those where typically his audience is going to be a little bit younger, just as an FYI. They're more in like that 18 to 30 range, which could work for you. All right. Relevant hashtags. Now, if anyone tells you hashtags don't matter, they don't know about Instagram, they don't know about social media, etc. You want to find ones that work. So look for those that you're following. Look up hashtags on, under your search in Instagram. Does everybody know where to do that? Check out your competitor social media accounts. So that's not just your competitors. It's also, those influencers and things, right? See what they're using. Does everyone know where to do search on Instagram? Yes? No? Yeah? So fairly straightforward, right? You've got everything here. And Instagram's just like Facebook, right? Your second post in the feed is almost always an ad. So if you're thinking about running ads, that's where an ad is going to pop up. You see the great thing about this? Okay. So he's talking about getting seen on TV, right? Now, I don't have the audio on, but can we all see this down at the bottom where he's got the text there? So even if I'm not listening to it, I could read it. As high as, depending on the day, the time, et cetera, as high as 80% of social media that people are watching, they don't listen to. So having audio, text at the bottom is important. He had infographics. He's got he's got little other images, right? Jeannie, if you don't have an Instagram account, that's okay. We're talking about Instagram. It doesn't mean I have to build on Instagram, right? There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can strictly build on Facebook. We'll end up doing more training on Facebook later, but this is about Instagram today. If you don't have it, that's okay. If you don't, though, I would recommend getting one. It's not that difficult. Open one up, even if you're just going to kind of creep for a while. Down here at the bottom, you got the magnifying glass. That's my search, right? So now typically what's going to show up here are different things that are relevant to you, right? Things that you have liked or watched in the past. So if you look at mine, there's things about Marvel and DC and comics. You've got UFC stuff. We've got sports. There's some politics. And then there's going to be marketers and, business and other things like that, right? That's what's relevant to me. But what you can do when I start searching, I can look for accounts, hashtags, top things, all of this, right? It can be, in some ways it's easier than Facebook. In some ways it can confuse people. So it just depends on what's easier for you guys. Right? And if your brand really is relevant to it. And if you think, oh, well, my age group or my people aren't on Instagram, remember, you still have over 1 billion people on Instagram, right? 1 billion people, about 60 to 70 million businesses on Instagram. Engagement is higher on Instagram as well. So there are some benefits to being there, right? Aga's, nodding her head. Absolutely. The niche that she's in, and it totally makes sense to be on Instagram. So hashtags in simple form. A hashtag. So questions about hashtags are simply, it's the £, right? And then a word, a key word, a relevant word, term to your niche and your audience. Hashtags are key, right? Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but you can go in though, and I can look up tags that are relevant. And there's different apps that you can get. Some of them are paid, so I'm not going to promote any. You can look them up. Just look up, hashtag apps, social media apps. There's a number of those different things. Okay. So you can look at your competitors, but what these are essentially keywords that Instagram will use to decide if your content is relevant for certain things. You can have multiple Instagram accounts. Absolutely. You can have as many as you want. So pick plenty of them. I've got my personal one that's obviously branded out for business as well, right? And I've kind of showed you guys this a little bit before, and maybe I'll pull it up on the screen there, but I've got my posts and I've got training. So Scott was asking about videos. So some of these little clips are from videos that I've done on these high performance calls and other things. I take little clips. I'll put them up there. I have an infographic that we're going to be posting today from the ADHD training, where I was just talking about different, superpowers of ADHD. I've turned that into an infographic carousel. So we're going to be doing that. Okay. So the key to that is simply, if I'm going to create content, then I want to create content that I can use in more than one place. We're trying to find ways to lessen the amount of work that you do, right? So instead of trying to come up with a brand new idea every single day, what if I come up with one or two great ideas each week, and then I just reuse that on a couple of different platforms, right? So that ADHD training that I did with you guys, I pulled audio from that and we used for a story, right? We put that up and we used that for a story. We turned this into an infographic, and then he also pulled a quote from that and added it to a picture, and that became one of the posts, right? Multiple ways that I use the exact same content. So I'm not going, man, what the hell do I do today? Right? So if you can find, so again, video, a lot of people are using it. Make it simple, right? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So audio captions, there's different places. There's apps and then some stuff on the app itself where you can get the captions for what you're saying, and it'll show up on video. That's what he's saying, Trita. Establish a presence, maintain a connection, develop your posture, all about exposure. Yep. Building that presence up, though, it's all about maintaining that in front of your audience and not just an audience in general. Okay. Next, the best time to post. All right. Let me pull this, make this a little bigger. Do everybody understand that there's reasons or there's times that posting will be more beneficial than others? It's real simple. You're going to have an audience once you build them up, and there's going to be 100, there's going to be 200, there's going to be 10,000, more and more and more. As I build up my audience, there's going to be a better time during the day that'll show me when I should post. So one app that I use is just called When to Post. It's pretty simple. But one of the things that I can look at, see this graph? Okay, so daily, it tells me what time during the day, depending on the day of the week, is going to be the best time to post. My overall best time to post is right about 6:30 at night. Okay, and to show a quick little example, a couple of quick little videos, real simple. I did this last week or earlier this week because I knew we were going to be talking about it. So I got two videos, one posted at a time that wasn't great and one posted at a pretty decent time. The first one that wasn't great had 400 views, a little over 400 views. The other one has a little over 3,000. So which one was posted at the right time? Right? Which one do you think created a bit more engagement? The one that was posted at the right time. Okay. Keep things simple, guys. Like, that's a very simple thing. It's not hard on this When to Post to just go, oh, I should post it, 6:30 at night on Friday. Make sure I hit that. Right? I know you want to do Monday through Friday. For me, Saturday is the best day to post for my audience. Right? For some brands, Monday isn't going to be a great time. So the best time to post is important. And the way that you figure that out, there are apps that help you know based on your followers. It shows when they are the most active. That's what you do. Okay. There are some free apps that'll give you really basic insights. This particular one, I paid, I think, $13 for the year. Okay. No, this particular one is an app just called When to Post. But look up, the App Store, the Google Play, all of those are going to have a number of different apps that'll help you figure it out.
You dropped out when you said that. Something about when is it?
When to Post is the app that I use. When to Post. Yep. That's it. So, but to use that app, you have to have a following. Yeah. You don't look at the very beginning, guys. If you've got less than, if you're starting out with 0, you don't need it yet. Right? Let it build up some. You don't have to enter any. So again, Jeannie's asking what type of info do you have to enter? It logs into your account. It connects to your account and reads based off your followers. So if you don't have followers right away, then you need to increase the followers. You can do that organically, or you can do it. Michelle, if you don't have a following yet, then you play around, you test, right? Just keep playing with it. Meaning, I'm going to post in the morning. I'm going to post at night. I'm going to see which one seems to do a little bit better with my audience. It's real simple, guys. I'm going to run an ad for engagement. I'm going to run an ad just to try and get some more followers to my page. Yeah. Sarah, the follow, unfollow is something I was talking about just a minute ago. Yes, Paul.
Quick question. This app you're talking about can be used for all the accounts, like
I think it does
Facebook, Instagram,
I think it does Facebook. No, it wouldn't be the same. Facebook and Instagram, I think it does together because they're essentially the same platform. You can log into your Facebook account, and if your Instagram account is attached to your Facebook, it can measure both. If you're going to do multiple accounts, then I'm not sure how that would set up. I've got mine attached to my same Facebook account, right?
Okay.
It's easier to manage than from my business manager. So it's just paying attention.
LinkedIn is not attached to Facebook or Instagram.
Right? No, it's its own platform. And there's probably one for there's probably one of these apps for LinkedIn too, guys. All of these apps probably have something similar. Yeah, Facebook bought Instagram a while ago for $1 billion. So Google bought YouTube for, I think, $3 billion. Somebody can do the research and figure this out. I want to say it was a few years ago, they bought it for like $3 billion. They now generate the amount of money that they paid for YouTube. Google now makes in about 3 weeks in advertising. Every 3 weeks, they make that in advertising. It was a pretty good deal. So next, one great way to do this, start conversations with Instagram stories and stickers on your stories. Okay. So your stories are the 15-second videos that you can add to your profile, right? That's going to be done in that top, either the, now, because Instagram just changed. So when I open up my Instagram, let me kind of show this because they've changed it. When I open up my Instagram, down here, there's the little plus, and I can come here and then I can decide, is this going to be a post, a story, or am I going live? Right? Post or story, or I'm going to go live. And so I'm going to do a story, and then we've got all of you guys here, right? And you can post something there, and you can add questions, comments, captions, and different things. But choice to link the Facebook, Instagram, personal versus business. It's going to link to your personal account. I mean, that's how it works. It'll link to your personal because your personal is the one that controls your business. So that's how that works. Okay. Now, this is a great way to do this. Start conversations with the Instagram stories. All right. Open up, play with it. If you don't have any following yet, that's fine. Just play with it. And if you don't like what you post, delete it. Next, test and analyze the new content types. Okay. These are on stories. This is what it looks like when you're on stories. So this is like questions, who started this challenge? This is a quiz. Here's an infographic, right? Information that they post. Figure out which ones work best for you, right? Your audience. You're going to get some that like different things. Next, test new content types. So memes, quotes, user-generated content, mini infographics, selfie-style videos, all of these things. Figure out what's going to work best for you and your image, right? Experiment with the video types like LinkedIn or Instagram stories, reels, and IGTV. IGTV is normally a video that's going to be longer than 2 minutes, right? Long form can be okay. That's the place to put it. Try different things on the Instagram stories to see if it improves the engagement. Okay. Figure out the different way to do it. All right. Just keep practicing. Next, share data your audience will love. This goes to the infographics. Figure out your target audience, pay attention to them, and then be willing to write longer captions. Look, Instagram captions can be up to 2,200 characters long. 2,200 characters. Instagram pays attention to how long it takes to write a post. So if all you did is write, check it out, and then Carolyn came in behind and wrote a bit of a story, added a couple of emojis to separate lines, asked some questions, wrote about what the picture is and depicts and is communicating with her audience. The algorithm pays attention to that stuff. And it's going to say she spent longer on hers than, Scott did on his. So we're going to put hers ahead of his in that algorithm, right? They reward you. If you take forever to post in between, if I'm only posting once a week versus every day, right? Or multiple times a week at least. Instagram, the algorithm is going to reward the people that are active with their audience. The more active you are with your audience, you engage with them, you follow, you're doing different things. It wants you to stay on, and it wants everybody else, all of its other users to stay on. And so if they're engaging with your content, then they're going to keep putting your content in front of people. It's some real basic ideas. You just have to implement them. Okay. For those that are new to Instagram, there are videos on YouTube on how to use it. Yeah, there's all sorts of different videos there. I'm just trying to give you guys a real basic thing. You can look up articles, you can watch videos, right? Is there a way to set up a schedule versus actually going in daily throughout the day? Yeah, I mean, you set up your schedule. You don't have to do it all day, every day, right? I've got some time in the morning, I got some time in the evening. What time, I just got done showing you my thing. What time do you think I check things in the evening? Typically sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. That's when I'm checking, right? Now, can you automate? There are some things that you can use to update automatically. Just search them out. There's some paid versions. There are some free versions. Some have more benefits than others. Just like, and we'll get in at one point, I'll talk to you guys about different apps you can use for video editing and photo editing and all of that. Some of them do include a watermark if I'm doing it free. Others I can pay for. There's a lot of options out here, guys, and it's not as complicated as we like to make it think. We like to think it is, right? You can, if you're inside Instagram, then you'll need to post it. You can't leave it pending. And could you do me a favor? Cause we can't send you any email. Whoever F Street Pump Station is, that's all we have as a name. So, guys, any other questions as far as what I kind of went over? Just some ideas on content on Instagram, stories, videos, etc. Anybody else got any questions? How can we post on Facebook and post on Instagram at the same time? Is it possible? Yes, it is. And there's just a little settings that you go into on Instagram, and you can tell it to post on both. You can tell it to post on both stories at the same time as well. And it'll do, Instagram and Facebook. They just need to be connected.
So Andrew, I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
Algorithms change it seems to be about every 2 weeks with Facebook, and that would also
it's about every 6 months.
Okay. Because they say
6 to 10 months.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Now, what happens though is your audience, it's based on your audience. Because what Facebook has to do with the Facebook newsfeed and the Instagram newsfeed, there's all these different factors. What is your audience looking at is a big part of that. So what I need to do is I need to understand my audience. Who do I want? I want them to look at me. So I need to figure out what they're looking at, and I need to find a way to mimic and or beat the stuff that they're looking at. Because if Scott and myself and Aga and Sarah, we're all going after the same audience. If I'm posting once a week and Aga's posting twice a week, but she's super active in her stories, right? And Scott's posting every single day, but neglects his stories, and Sarah's, kind of right in the middle, I'm not going to get hardly any interaction, even though it's the exact same audience, right? Now, Scott's super active in his stories and Aga's super active in her stories. They may not see Aga's stuff in their feed, but they're interacting with her there. She can still connect with her audience and create more engagement. And sometimes those stories will pop up in the search algorithm for other people in that audience, right? That happens all the time. I get some people who I know I would be following, and it just starts popping up under suggested things right there based on right here. There's a hashtag based on the audience that I already follow. It starts to pop up. Okay. So don't neglect. Stories is one of those things that you don't want to neglect because it's the first thing that's there. It's the thing that so many people now, 3 years ago, no, but so many people now go there first before they even start scrolling. A lot of people will go on, a lot of users. Guys, remember, this isn't about you. This is about the other users that are on there. Well, I don't do that. Okay, that's great. Now, unless you are 100% your target demographic, and we've talked about that, then you need to look and see if there are others of your target demographic on that platform. And there are ways that you can search this out. That's one of the things I talked about. As marketers, one of the most important things you will ever learn is the ability to do research, to research the proper information. If you neglect that skill, you will suffer in your marketing, in your content, in engaging with your audience, because you're going to end up putting things in front of the people that have no interest in it. So spend the time learning that. Okay. Decide which platform you're going to be active with to begin with. Some of you guys that are brand new, welcome to the call. First time on here. That's great. I saw a couple of people that were on the welcome call this morning. Welcome aboard. I'm not trying to overwhelm you. Simply providing alternative methods to generate content. We've done a number of trainings on Facebook. This works exceptionally well there, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We got people that are crushing on TikTok. YouTube can be a great way depending on your niche, right? That's what it's all about. Understand where my niche is, get in there and do it. Okay. Yeah. Find ways to build. My cat is killing the game. There you go, Lisa. Awesome. It's just about connecting with the audience and putting relevant and engaging content. Be real, be authentic. Sometimes if you want to be funny, that's fine, but approach your audience with what they want. Right? So, hey, if you're going to do, Lisa's talking about the cat. Maybe we talk about that with the strategy session. If I'm selling individual items, that's great, but there are no groups on Instagram. No. It's going to be all about the accounts and the hashtags. Groups are going to be LinkedIn, Facebook, and then Clubhouse now. Maybe one of these days we'll do a training on Clubhouse. So we'll get there at some point. Ladies and gentlemen, the email's about to go out with the slides for this. Let me get that to you. I'm going to include the link for the testimonials. Hopefully you guys got a little bit out of this. You can think a little bit some. If it's on all those platforms, Scott, then I would test a couple of them. Facebook is working for you, Scott. I would also then look at, LinkedIn may work well for you. If you're still going along the lines of what you and I talked about at the beginning, Scott, Facebook would probably be number one. I would focus there and then look at others as secondary once you've kind of built up that. Especially if you're repurposing content, it's a great way to do that. So I'm going to wrap up the recording. Now,